aren't these natural processes, whatever may be their nature, aren't these processes parts of the chain of events from the lightning in the sky to the breaking of the glass? Don't they qualify as causes and effects? What are the criteria for disqualifying them as causes and effects? I mean, why can't getting scared, for example, be taken as an effect, cause due to the lightning? Why can't kicking of the glass be taken as the primary cause that, at the first place, drives the glass out of its equilibrium position, thereby leading to its consequent fall due to gravity? I'm sure no one will say that these are wrong questions, but usually we don't pay attention to such questions. Whatever is the example or the situation, we don't consider questions involving a person's role in the actual physics of happening. Anyway, lightning, seeing, hearing, falling, and breaking can certainly be fairly explained on the basis of classical physics, apparently without any need for the inclusion of the subject of cognizance in the analysis. Even in Einstein's relativity, the notion of an observer is precisely this: non-participating and passive, separated from what's being observed. Okay, am I saying that classical physics is wrong because it doesn't include the subject of cognizance in the physics of happening? No, not at all. There is no doubt that the classical theories of physics, the paradigms of Newtonian physics, the mechanistic framework, the relativistic physics, to a certain extent do provide realistic models of nature. Come on, under appropriate conditions, these are experimentally verified paradigms. Not just this, we have also seen engineering and technology working on the classical principles. And an experimentally verified and technologically applied theory of physics is never wrong in its domain of applicability.